the grieving grandfather of one of the two teenage girls murdered in a small Indiana community, pleading with the public to help bring her killer to justice. Police have been circulating an image and voice recording of the potential suspect, captured on one of the victim's phones just before her murder. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
She loved taking pictures of anything and everything.
These idyllic woods of Delphi, Indiana, now a crime scene.
We are a very close-knit, small community, so this hits very hard.
This community still on edge after the horrific murder of two young teens.
I think it's terrible. It makes me sick to my stomach. It made me feel kind of sick going down to the bridge thinking one of my friends died down there.
Investigators now piecing together those last moments of 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German.
This horrible crime has torn a hole in our families that'll never heal.
Friends and family shattered by the sudden loss. Tonight, a killer still at large. This voice and photograph, possible clues, authorities say recorded on the victim's phone that fateful February day. It's around 1 p.m. on Monday, February 13th. A family member drops the girls off for a hike.
Authorities believe the girls walked through this nature trail, and we know about an hour after they started their hike, they ended up right here on this railroad bridge.
At 2:07 p.m., Liberty uploads this Snapchat photo of Abigail walking across the train tracks over this bridge. That would be their last communication. Less than an hour later, the teens are scheduled to be picked up, but they never show.
They started looking for him around 5:30. They got law enforcement involved.
Hundreds of volunteers combed the trail looking for any sign of the girls. Police checking those Snapchat pictures for clues. Liberty's grandfather speaking to WLFI.
Missing, abducted, we don't know for sure. Cell phone has been pinging around town.
Describe that search, the volunteers. This is something that really, really impacted the community.
It did. We had estimating well over, I'd say, 200 to 300 volunteers, and then, of course, emergency responders, which included law enforcement, local firefighters. We searched well into the night and the early morning hours.
But the next day, detectives discover their bodies. 3/4 of a mile from that very bridge seen in Liberty's last Snapchat.
This is rural Indiana. Most of the people that are born and raised here stay here. It is very uncommon for that to happen in a small community. It's not something that you get here.
A community heartbroken.
Now to think something could have happened here in our own town, it's scary.
I think everybody is just ready to know what happened and why and who did this.
Two families reeling.
It's the small things that seem to hurt the most. It's just natural to holler for them to come to dinner or in the mornings to get up and get ready for school. Then expect them to come through the door after school. The silence when we don't hear their voice.
Officers combing through thousands of tips. Authorities not revealing information about how the teens died, but releasing this chilling audio they believe to be the killer.
We think that there's enough there that somebody would recognize that voice, and we want that person to call us.
It's always easier to crack a case early. You've got witnesses who've got everything fresh in their memory. You're getting all the tips early on, and you hope that the person might still be in the area.
Investigators hunting for this man, who they call a suspect. Authorities revealing that this audio and image came from Liberty's phone in her last moments, managing to hit record.
She's a hero because she had presence of mind. She didn't feel comfortable about something. She turned on her video camera.
Hope now that those efforts will lead to a tip and an arrest.
As poor as this picture is, somebody knows. And if you're watching, we'll find you.
The public has the potential to be the best ally in this investigation. Do you know that guy? Do you recognize the voice? Do you know someone who looked like him, who was in the area? Anything they can get is helpful.
This morning, Liberty German's grandfather appealing to the public for help.
However small it may seem, it is extremely vital to capture every tip we can get. Please, we need your help.
As mystery still clouds Delphi, Indiana, 400 miles away, a father in Iowa hoping this case could help lead to answers in his own daughter and niece's abduction and murder.
Everything just started coming back to me, thinking about what the parents and the family are going through, and just what I had gone through and my family has gone through. All those things just come back to you when you see one of these cases.
On July 13th, 2012, 8-year-old Elizabeth Collins and her 10-year-old cousin Lyric Cook went for an afternoon bike ride and never returned.
The last 5 days have seemed eternal.
Yeah, just like, it's just forever, like every day it's just, we're like, when is it gonna end, you know? When is it gonna end? When is this nightmare gonna end?
Their bicycles were recovered on this trail near a small lake after they were reported missing.
Whoever's out there, we're just begging you to bring our girls back home.
The bodies of those two girls were found 5 months later. Elizabeth's father points out the eerie similarities with Liberty and Abigail's murders in Indiana. Both sets of girls seemingly taken in a secluded area, their bodies found in wooded terrain, and both crimes committed on the 13th of the month.
2 kids at once is a very uncommon thing to have happen, and also just being on the 13th of the month just kind of struck me as really odd.
The authorities hunting Liberty and Abigail's killers telling ABC News they've compared notes with investigators in Iowa.
At this point, we're not comfortable saying yes, there is a connection, or no, there's not. We just don't have enough information.
On the surface, these cases have similarities. You have underage kids on trails, remote areas of 2 different states, killed during daylight hours. But once you get beyond that, the cases really aren't similar. You have an abduction in the one in Iowa, and you also have a number of states in between these 2 crime scenes. And so the idea that it's the same guy, I think, is not likely.
Still, as communities grieve in 2 separate states, the families holding on to hope for answers.
One of the biggest advantages of talking about this Iowa case now publicly is that when cases get publicized, people do come forward.
Tributes seen across Delphi over the last month for these bright girls taken too soon as a community waits anxiously for an arrest. For Nightline, I'm Alex Perez in Delphi, Indiana.